Well, we're live in California, and I'm here with Dr. Rubio. Very happy to have you here. We're at the Aesthetic Academy, and we're going to talk about chicken soup for the soul, something I never thought we'd be talking about. We had a whole day of lectures today. It was a great full day of education, from injectable training with Dr. Jason Emmer to consulting, information and training and education. And Dr. Rubio was part of the lectures, and it was really very interesting. And I'd like your take on today overall, and the few lectures I did and the other lectures that you heard. So share with everybody what you heard today.
Well, my favorite part is that I have opened an aesthetic office many years ago when I first retired from traditional medicine, and I had no experience in running a business. And attending the lectures today, especially Cheryl's, and seeing the applications of her techniques have been very helpful. And I'm very excited to go back to my clinic and look at the practice in a very different way.
What was the key things that you took away from the lectures today?
A couple of new techniques on injectables, but I came here looking for new opportunities, new technologies to bring to the clinic, and to also learn how to be more of a businesswoman. So I'm very excited.
Well, it's one thing they don't teach you in medical school and how to be a businesswoman. So I'm
Correct.
sure that's something
Correct.
that was interesting today to hear all the business and finance. And, one of my lectures was on finance, which I know is the most boring topic, but is the most important topic.
Correct. And it seems like that is the situation of a lot of people in aesthetics. We go from traditional medicine to a whole new world, still understanding that there is a definite transition. And with your help, I think it's going to make a huge difference.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I'm very excited.
Oh, that's so sweet. Tell us a little bit about the loyalty, your patients' loyalty. You have a practice here in California. Tell us a little bit where the practice is and what you specialize in. And the concept of loyal patients means so much to you. And I really, feel that by talking to you. How do you project keeping loyal patients? How do you gain loyal patients? Because that's a key thing in business today.
Well, I think part of my gift, I guess, is that I train in pediatrics, so I have a paternalistic kind of attitude. So it's not unusual for me to say to a patient, I would love to do your treatment, but you really are not a good candidate, or turn them away because they had Botox too much in the recent past. So they get a sense that I really want to partner with them. I discuss a joint venture, so to speak, so that they know that I care. And a lot of my patients come from referrals, so that gives them an extra sense of confidence. My patients that I get that are new to me usually come in for treatments such as hair removal, so it's a multitude of office visits, and in that process we develop a relationship, and I keep a lot of my patients, so it's nice. The atmosphere in the clinic is not so strict and stiff and medical. My patients bring me gifts, and we party and we talk about personal issues, and it's just a very different air, and I think that's refreshing to everybody.
Yeah, I think, you're overall a very relaxed person, very friendly, warm, smiley. So I think, that makes people feel comfortable right away. And the fact that you take care of them. And, we talked today about Groupon and how to maintain a Groupon patient is challenging for most practices. How do you handle that Groupon patient that comes to you that becomes ultimately a loyal patient?
Well, again, I'm very selective of what I put on Groupon, and I choose treatments that require multiple office visits. So in that process, we get to interact with the patient many times, and they get to feel my style, and they get to meet other patients that have known me for longer periods of time. So it's a combined effect.
And then how do you upsell them? Because most Groupon patients, want specials, want deals, they're tire kickers.
That's true. Fortunately for me, because I have a relatively low overhead clinic, my patients know that I have good prices overall. But I just share with them what I do. I'm not pushy, it's not my style. But I do have brochures with all my comprehensive services, and I share that with them. I'm always excited about the new conference that I went to. I always share with them that I try to keep up with the latest and the best, and that I'm selective of what I bring to the clinic. Another thing that's unique, I think, to me and to other physicians like Dr. Runnels, I believe that for me to have a better sense of the treatment that I can share with the patient, I should try that on myself. So pretty much all the services that I have in the clinic, I have done so that I can feel firsthand what it feels like on both ends. I do it to myself a lot of times, and I have another trainer, for example, doing it to me. So that gives the patient extra confidence, and just knowing that I'm always out there looking at new things.
Which is great that you keep up in the industry and you keep up on what's new. I know we often have really good conversations about stem cells and growth factors, where they are today, where they're going in the future. Where do you see the future of growth factors and stem cells and the sheets that go on skin to help wound healing and the injectable? I mean, it's so exciting, and we talk about it all the time. We just finished editing the chapter in my book, and hopefully the fifth edition of the Beautifully Profitable book will soon be ready. I've been trying to keep it very up to date like you do for your clients. I do it for mine, and it will be available. It is available on Amazon right now. And any questions that you have or comments you have, please feel free to ask us tonight on the live show or going forward. Ask the questions, and Dr. Rubio will definitely be able to answer. This was behind the scenes, last minute, and we're on the West Coast, so those on the East Coast, I'm sure, are out. It's it's a weekend. It's a Saturday night, and we're here doing Facebook Live. What's wrong with this picture? Right. Well, we do have a great event tonight at Prego's Restaurant, so that should be fun if I can keep my eyes open with a 3-hour time difference. But I guess tell us about the non-surgical combined therapies and how you see the future of the stem cells and the growth factors.
Well, when I teach about stem cell therapy and fat-derived stem cells and growth factors, I like to remind people that there have been some very specific eras in medicine where the whole atmosphere changed. When antibiotics were introduced, when X-rays became part of the diagnostic ammunition. I believe that we're in a similar situation right now. In the recent future, things like stem cells and fat-derived growth factors are going to help patients that would normally have the only option of a transplant. So it's a very exciting phase in medicine. I take pride in being in the forefront. I am very, very progressive in the use of growth factors and PRP in my clinic, and I love to share that with people that are open-minded and equally interested in cutting-edge medicine.
And tell us about your clinical studies. And, I notice all these doctors know you because you've trained them. Tell us a little bit about your doctor training and what doctors can call you for. What can you teach them?
I have had a lot of experience with human-derived growth factors, mostly from using it in my clinic and also from looking at what's out there in the community, talking to people that create such products. I like the concept of combined therapies, especially in my clientele that might be in their 60s and 70s. No matter what you do to that patient, they're older. They're not going to respond the same way. Let's say that they're a smoker or someone that has a health challenge. So the addition of growth factors are a great adjunct because you're going to have the best results. So I like to encourage doctors to look at ways to augment what's out there already, the lasers and the radio frequency, for example, with growth factors, because they're going to get the ideal response.
Not to get into PRP in detail because we could probably talk about that for a week, but how do you see the PRP in somebody who's 50 to 70 years old versus using an amniotic fluid? What are the differences off the top of your head?
Well, the use of amniotic fluid-derived growth factors it's the next frontier in growth factor therapy. And you can get growth factors from many different ways. You can get it from human fibroblasts. You can get it secondarily from PRP. The problem with PRP, for example, is that there are a lot of variables that are going to impact your result. For example, if you're an older person, if you're, like I said before, not in the best of health. So one way to compensate is to do external growth factors. With the amniotic fluid products and the amniotic membrane, you're going to have a level playing field. It's just going to revolutionize skincare and wound care. I am just like so excited about what's coming ahead. It's just gonna change the whole world of regenerative medicine. You're gonna be able to do a resurfacing treatment on a patient, and instead of having a week downtime and all the potential complications, you're gonna have the best results. You're gonna have brand new baby skin using amniotic fluids, and right now I get improved results and much better downtime using PRP in younger patients and using growth factors. But the amniotic fluid industry is going to just change the game.
When we talked about Kaiser, where you worked before in the hospital system, which is a very big hospital system here in California, we talked about wound healing, we talked about burn victims. I mean, it sounds like all of this would be amazing, and even dental. I mean, it almost is like there's no end and it's the future of medicine.
The applications of growth factors is just the very, very tip of an iceberg. It's sad in a sense because we have the technology, we have the studies, we have the proof. And when you look at, for example, wound care, bedridden patients, diabetic patients, 99% of centers right now that take care of such patients still use old-fashioned treatment. Not even simple things like light are being put to effect.
Why?
Good question. It's not because the information is not out there. It's just it takes a lot of repetition for big systems to change. But I think, for example, in the case of Kaiser Permanente, they do use in some centers growth factors for wound care because they have been shown that it's effective. I think even just from the financial point of view, the short time of recovery and the discomfort to the patient eventually is going to come to the point where patients are going to say, why are you doing this crazy wound change, pads like you have in the last 50 years when I hear that I can use growth factors and PRP? Right now, I can tell you when I started using growth factors back in 2008, patients had no idea what that was. When I started using PRP in 2009, it was like, what? Now they come into the office and they know that I do PRP treatments and they already know about it. So the industry is going to change as the patients get more educated.
And I thank you for that. So now how are you going to change after today, after the lectures, after talking about the sections in the Beautifully Profitable book? Tell me what you're going to go back and you're taking away with your clinic.
Well, I'm very excited about the amniotic fluid products and very excited about putting on more of a business hat.
Okay, and I give you good luck, and I will be there to support you. And if there's any questions that you have for us, please ask at any time, or you can email me, Cheryl at beautifulforever.com. This is put on through Beautiful Forever University. I am there to educate and to train. And if you want to get in touch with Dr. Rubio for any kind of training or questions, how can they find you?
Don't email me, but you can text me at 909-747-7611. I have an open door policy. If you ever want to come to my clinic and get trained or see what I do, I'll be happy to host you.
Where are you located exactly?
In Redlands, that's in Southern California. It's halfway between LA and Palm Springs. It's a beautiful little quaint city. You'll love visiting us.
Oh, I'd love to come visit you one of the days. My next trip's to California. And I thank you so much for your time tonight. And I know you're ready to go party at Prego's if we can keep our eyes open. And I thank you again.
I would be dancing if it wasn't the Prego dinner. So.
Well, thank you so much. And good luck. And I'm going to keep up with you. And I'm going to stay on top of it to make sure that you are making the proper changes so you can move at lightning speeds ahead in your practice.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Take care. It's been a great day.
Thank you.